So QuakeCon 2025 has just happened, and oh my god, they revealed a lot of stuff. This is quite possibly one of the most hyped QuakeCons we've had in years. Not only have we seen the re-release of an old Raven Software classic and the greatest update to Doom Eternal we've ever seen, but we also see the result of our constant complaining and nagging at id Software to finally give us what we want. This video is going to be similar to my usual news videos, but I'm also going to be reviewing Update 2 for Doom the Dark Ages. And of course I'll be mainly focusing on the Ripitorium mode, which is probably what you're all here to listen to anyway. As usual, if you're yet to play Doom the Dark Ages, then you can go to GAMESPLANET.com in the description. This allows you to support the channel and also get the game at a discounted price. And as a side note, if you log into Doom the Dark Ages between now and September 1st, then you will get the QuakeCon Slayer skin. It can take up to a day to unlock, so don't panic if you don't get it immediately. But aside from all that stuff, let's dive headfirst into what is one of the most exciting news videos I have ever made. I first of all wanted to start this video by talking about stuff that was unrelated to Doom the Dark Ages, and that would be the full release of Doom Eternal's mod support, along with the Heretic / Hexen remaster by Night Dive Studios. As you may know, Doom Eternal's mod support went into early access following last year's QuakeCon, and it allowed the community to more easily access mods and community content. It even allowed you to use the very same tools that id Software used to make Doom Eternal in the first place to make your own mods and fan-made creations. It's come along slowly over the past year, and the amount of stuff being made for it really isn't that much, but in the year of the Big 2.5, it's finally been completed. One of the most notable changes to the game is that it now allows you to launch the game with or without mods separately, which means that your save files will remain intact on either version. The UI has also been majorly overhauled, and I assume that the actual tools used to create the mods have been changed a little bit too. Hopefully this will lead to some more community made content down the road, and some videos for me to make on said content. Next up is the remaster of Heretic and Hexen. These games are absolute classics, and if you're involved in the kinda older FPS game scene, then you are bound to have heard of them. Honestly, I think it's pretty awesome that id Software and Night Dive Studios are going out of their way to remaster all of their old titles. Just like the Doom and Quake remasters, the Heretic / Hexen one comes with a lot of new stuff. Of course, there's heaps of accessibility options for those who can't get past the age of the game or themselves have problems that prevent them from playing games properly, and there's certain features that solve one of the biggest problems with this genre of game. A lot of people struggle to really get into these games because they get lost. This style of level design is oftentimes really mazy, and that's a hard thing to get past. And luckily for the people who can't do that, there is the option for a objective marker sort of thing that tells you where you need to go. And of course, if you want a more classic experience, this can be turned off. Despite Andrew Hulshult's lack of involvement with Doom the Dark Ages, he is certainly still pulling his weight over at id Software. If you know Andrew's work, then you'll probably know about his Doom 1 and 2 remaster of the music. This was a fan project until it was later picked up to be implemented to the actual remaster. And wouldn't you know it, he's done it again. The entire soundtrack for both Heretic and Hexen has been fully remade by Hulshult. It sounds great, and in general I'm really happy to see a bunch of new people enjoying such a classic game. But now, the part you're actually here for, Doom the Dark Ages. Doom the Dark Ages has seen a lot of change with this update, and honestly, it's amazing. I'm not going to talk about every single change in the game like Austin did because, well, his video is 40 minutes long, and I'm not here to make a video that long. Just know that I'll talk about the more important ones that are very much noticeable when you play the game. First up, the Rail Spike and the SSG have both had balancing changes. The Rail Spike now has reduced damage to the Vagary and Hell Knight, reduced damage to Armoured Demons, and a reduced Dreadmace charge when using the Lobotomy upgrade. The SSG on the other hand has reduced damage to the Hell Knight, Pinky Rider, Mancubus and the Cosmic Baron, reduced damage to Armoured Demons, and you can now interrupt its reload animation so that you can perform executions. In terms of further making the game feel smoother and nicer to play, there is a lot of really good changes. Weapon swaps have been sped up, allowing for a little bit quick swapping. Parries are now available during weapon swaps and shield bash cooldowns. Players on PC can now enable an option that allows you to double tap the keys so that you can equip a different weapon from the same class. And of course, the long-awaited slow motion slider is finally here. This allows players on both PC and console to adjust how much or how little slow motion they'd like to apply during their parries and their melees. Unfortunately, this is not available for the Mech or Dragon, as much as I wish it was, but this is already an amazing start. As I've said before, all we need now is to be able to sprint in all directions with auto sprint enabled. Speaking of the Dragon and Mech, there's also been some changes to those too. The Mech now has this electric stomp attack, sped up attack speed, and more enemies in any given level. This makes the sections where you use the Mech a lot more fun and a lot more smooth feeling, which is something I really appreciated. Along with that, the Dragon tutorial has been simplified so that it confuses new players less, and its plasma attack now lasts longer. Aside from other smaller changes that are along these sort of lines, that's kind of all I have to tell you here without going too in detail about stuff that you don't really care about. If you like to read through everything, then I will link the patch notes in the description, but if this information is enough for you, then let's move on to the next section. It's finally here. After all these years, we finally have a real Doom Horde mode, and it's amazing. Previously, when I said the word Horde mode, I summoned him out of the basement. Since that video, I made the restraints a little bit tighter so he can't get out again, and I also contacted id Software to make sure that they didn't call the mode Horde mode, just in case he realised. The mode is now called Repertorium 1.0, which really is the Repertorium 2.0 considering that the Repertorium was in Doom Eternal. This mode is mostly everything we could have asked for. At the moment we have 3 maps, those being the City of Ryul, the Village of Kalim, and the Harbour of Souls. The best part of these maps is that they're not just reused areas from the campaign, but they're maps made completely from the ground up, just using the same setting as these campaign levels. They're fairly wide open, with some of them being a bit more vertical than others, and there's a lot of room to play about in them. Currently my favourite of the 3 is probably the City of Ryul, and it seems that way for a lot of people, but we have been told that this mode is going to receive some more support down the road, so hopefully we'll see some new maps introduced. I personally would like to see ones from either the Snowy biome or the Hell biome, because I think they're a little bit missing with this mode. The Harbour of Souls doesn't count, you know what I mean, shut up. Probably the coolest part of this mode is that it lets you customize pretty much everything about the encounter that you want to make. The arena can fit about 60 demons, and you have the ability to choose just which demons you want to fill up that full 60. The list of enemies that you have to choose from is quite literally every single enemy in the game except the story bosses. It really allows you to play about with different enemy combinations and make exactly the type of fight that you want. You can even attempt making your own custom boss fights using the champion demon boss fights from the campaign. This is a thing that I've done quite a lot and I've really enjoyed it. Having a triple vagary boss fight with one of them being a champion really reminds me of the Doom Hunter fight. You can even set a time limit for how long you have to kill all of the monsters, along with choosing how many times they respawn. Furthermore, you can enable the endless mode, which makes the game never end. I do have some small complaints about these options though. I wish that there was some sort of enemy preset so that you didn't have to constantly make the arena from scratch every single time, or at least the option for a randomizer. Along with that, I'd also really like the option to separate the waves. At the moment, when you kill an enemy, that enemy will usually respawn immediately, which makes it really feel like you can't focus down on the important ones because they just keep coming back. If there was a way to make it so that enemies didn't respawn until all of them were dead and to separate each round, then I think that would be amazing. Even if there was like a version of the endless mode that just got harder and harder with each round, where you have to survive as much as you can. On the more positive side though, we also have the jukebox. This allows you to pick from a selection of Doom the Dark Ages soundtrack by finishing a move to play in the background of your fights. You can pick a specific song that you want to continue playing throughout the whole thing, or you can put it on shuffle so that you don't go insane from listening to the same song over and over and over and over again. I really think this is an incredible quality of life feature, but it also brings me onto another feature that I wish this game had. I wish that they would make it so that you could pick a specific loadout that you want to bring in. At the moment, when you spawn in, you have to go and reset everything yourself. Even if you're respawning after a death, you need to go in and pick all your runes and your melee, everything. And if you're constantly dying to a really high round, then you can see why this would be really frustrating. If there was a way to set your preferred guns so that every time you start, you'll bring those out instead of having to switch through them all, along with presetting your runes and melee, then that would be absolutely perfect, and the mode would feel so much better. Aside from those minor complaints though, this is probably one of the best additions I have ever seen to a Doom game. It's something that we've asked for since Doom 2016 and we finally got it. They finally listened and gave us a real Horde mode. And honestly, I think they really have went above and beyond for what we could have asked for this sort of mode. While I did ask for a randomizer, they could have very easily just made it just that, but having the option to customize it to your needs is also an amazing feature that I'm so glad they gave us. I really do hope this mode becomes a mainstay in future titles, because I think it's something we should have from launch. Overall, this QuakeCon has brought us a bunch of amazing stuff, and I expect it to continue getting better and better as the years go on. If you'd like to watch more videos from myself, then consider watching either of the videos appearing on screen right now. If you're yet to play Doom the Dark Ages, then follow the links to GAMESPLANET.com in the description. To support the channel further and continue making videos like this possible, then consider becoming a channel member for some exclusive perks. Aside from that though, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.